Hi everyone, hello parents, hello children, and hello all the readers tuning in live or joining us later. Uh, you know what is around us? What is there a week later from now? Let me sing it to you. Jingle bell, jingle all the way. आओ तुम्हें चांद पे ले जाएं. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So are you all into the Christmassy feeling yet? It's only 1 week away and the New Year is 1 week thereafter. In India, especially in towns, we observe and celebrate Christmas with such fervor, with such festivities. The kids are always, all the time, they are so excited, primarily to receive gifts. And the parents and the elders, they are so happy to give them away. Speaking of which, how about we explore the stories that go behind this festival, this event of the birth of Jesus. There's definitely a lot behind it. So let us explore the stories behind the birth of Jesus and about his life. And of course, for this Christmas, we can make it a point that we, in the gifts that we give away, we can probably give away some books. So this is an event hosted by Dreamland Publications in partnership with its storyteller partner Arya Inspires. You know the Kahani Wali, Shivani Kanodia? Yeah, that Arya Inspires. And I am Swapnil Verma. I am an in-house counsel. I work as a lawyer in a corporate company. By the day, by the night, I am a parent of 2 tiny whiny kids in the house. I'm their storyteller. Stories are a big, huge part, of our home. And that brings us to today's book. And of course, the stories within it. The funny thing is that we are not talking of a story or a couple of stories. We are talking of a whole lot, 101 Bible stories. This is a book brought out by Dreamland Publications, and it's a fantastic book. The best thing that I found about it was that it covers the whole circle, in the sense that it covers the Old Testament and the New Testament. The stories are just about 200, 150, 200, 250 words long. So that keeps it very short, very crisp, and it still touches upon almost all the major events that happened in the Old Testament and the New Testament. So what I have done today is I have selected a couple of stories for read aloud, and let me begin with the first one. So this story at number 75. So the first 50 stories in this book are from the Old Testament. The next 51 are from the New Testament. So the story at number 75, this one with an illustration, is about the lost sheep. Now let me read it to you. Parents, children, all the readers, pay attention. The lost sheep. Strict religious leaders were enraged to see people who broke rules to be present at Jesus' sermons. So you see, Jesus, it is talking about that phase, that point of time in Jesus' life when he was moving around, giving sermons, committing people to love, harmony, and friendship. At that point of time, someone remarked that surely Jesus wasn't sent by God to teach them. They said, he is not our teacher. I am not willing to take him as my teacher. Jesus told this guy, the people around, a parable, a story. The story that Jesus told them is a very nice one, and it goes like this. Imagine you own 100 sheep, and one night, one goes missing. What will you do? Will you settle down with the 99 sheep and forget about the lost sheep? You won't. You'll search high and low, shining your lamp on all the dark bushes till you find it. And when you find your lost sheep, you will celebrate with your friends and neighbors. After telling this story to the people around, and especially to the non-believers, Jesus said that God feels about people like that. God cares about people. In heaven, there is more happiness over the one person who was lost and came back to God, came back to the ways of God, of kindness, of love, of harmony. Then over the 99 already good people who are already following. So sometimes, I found this story really good because sometimes, especially in my house, there are two kids, although one of them is very, very young right now. But I've seen wherever there are two children or more than one children in the house, the child who behaves more often has this complaint that if the one who is a little more naughty, who goes around playing tricks, if he behaves or if he is the one who acts as told, then he gets more plaudits. So Jesus said that the God is always caring more, much, much more about people who are getting lost on the way. It doesn't mean that he doesn't love the 99 sheep. If any one of them was to go missing someday, he will care about them the same way. It's a very nice story about how God sees us, how our parents see us. So this is one story. Let me take you to the other one. And this is in fact more particularly about children. This story again with an illustration. You can see here there's Jesus holding a kid in his arms, holding him up. And there are women around, and then there are men folk. Now I'll tell you what's actually happening in this story. The story is titled Jesus Blesses Children. And it goes like this. Some mothers once took their babies, toddlers, and little children to Jesus. So you remember what was happening to Jesus? Jesus is moving around. He is meeting people. He is trying to tell people about the wisdom that he has, about the message of God that he has received from God. He's trying to tell them, spread the message of love. As usual, there was a huge crowd around him. So wherever Jesus used to go, it's almost like you see these stars, movie stars and cricket stars. Wherever they go, there is a lot of hullabaloo. It used to be the same with Jesus. So his disciples sent the mothers away. So his followers, the people who used to take care of Jesus and his matters, they shooed away the mothers and the children. They said, there's a lot of crowd here. Don't come here. Keep away. You may fall down. You may get hurt. As the mothers sadly turned to go, a baby began to wail. He started crying. Other babies began wailing too. Maybe the mothers and the babies were also as keen as all other menfolk to meet him. Jesus quickly looked up and told his disciples, "Don't ever turn children away. My kingdom is made up of those who are willing to be trustful, loving, and humble like children." So he gives out a very, very, poignant message that it's the child in you that I am appealing to, even in the elder folks. The day you are like a child, that guy is who I am after. These are the people I am looking after, because children, they are so loving, so trustful. They trust you like anything. I mean, if the parents who are locked in, they would espouse to this fact that the way they hold you, their grasp on your finger, that tells you that how much trust they are laying in you. And they are humble and they are loving. They are, of course, the fountainhead of love, but they are also very, very humble. They are so we call them so soft and mushy, but they are that inside also. So Jesus says, don't ever turn the children away. In fact, I want you to be like them. The disciples quickly told the woman to come back. They eagerly rushed back, the mothers holding up their babies for Jesus to bless. Jesus first held the crying infants in his arms. They gazed at him, and began gurgling. So when kids are happy, they gurgle. They began gurgling contentedly. Picking up the toddlers, he hugged each one lovingly, and lastly placed his hands on the heads of the older children. So he took the smaller ones in his arms, he held them up, he showered his love on them, and the elder ones, the slightly bigger ones, he blessed them on their head. The mothers now left happily with the children. So another beautiful story. Now what I find is that there are in fact 101 stories. The Old Testament is about how the earth came around to be, what was happening around, how they of course espouse to a religious view, and there is of course so much to know about it and to learn from it about Christianity. And then when the book comes into the New Testament, there are so many stories about the life of Jesus, and many of them with a very poignant message. I would advise the parents that what they can do is that they can take some time reading the story first to them, and sometimes a little bit of Wikipedia and Googling would help you give a context before you read these stories to children. But like I said, the best thing about this book is it covers the whole arc. And with that, I would like to tell you one more thing, that these books, not just this one, but all others in this series, there are 101 stories, fairy tales, Aesop's fables, bedtime stories, grandma, panchtantra, rhymes, and animal stories. They're all there, and they are for you. They are available on Amazon, on Flipkart, on FirstCry. Okay, there are a couple of questions, I guess. Anybody wants to share their view, give out a comment? There are so many waves. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ramya, Fatima. The ones that I can see, there are probably more. Anybody who wants to share an idea or any point to discuss, we are here. Ritika, thank you. So,
and today we're live from Arya Inspire's office. So it's a total delight to bring all these stories to all you people out there. Do drop in your comments, questions, and we'll be happy to take them even later. This video will be available for you to watch on Dreamland's page even after the live has ended.
Right. So enjoy reading, and once again, Merry Xmas in advance. Thank you.